What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Steam Deck gameplay video for you guys today on the OLED Steam Deck here. And today, we're gonna check out Starfield again. And a lot of you probably like, what? Dude, you've done that one like a million times. Enough with the Starfield already. Well, only reason I'm doing it is they added an FSR3 update with frame gen. So I just wanna see if FSR3 improves the performance, which I don't think it's really meant to. From my understanding, it's mostly just supposed to make images less noisy when you're moving around, which was one of the big problems with FSR in the past. Kind of like DLSS had the ghosting issues back when. Don't know if they fixed that yet, but anyway. So, and I also want to see if they added, I know they added it. I want to know if the Steam Deck can actually use frame gen or not. I've gotten it to work in a couple games, but unfortunately, it seems to only let me use it in games that run like garbage, kind of like how this one does, so it's not gonna really help me here. Even if frame gen works, it'll say I'm getting 60 or 59 FPS or 54 FPS, but it's still gonna feel like 25, you know? It has to be at least close to 60 to actually feel useful. At least from what I've been messing around with games. Everyone's gonna probably feel differently. That's just what I feel like when I'm messing around to my hands and to my mouse, when I'm using a mouse or a controller, it just does not feel quite right. It doesn't feel like I'm getting 60. Now, there are instances where I'm getting like 45 and then I turn it on and then it definitely does feel like it picked up like 5 FPS or something. It kind of feels more like a 50. It still didn't feel like a 70 like it would be saying on the actual frame rate counter, but still. So that's pretty much the point of this video. We're just gonna hop in, see how FSR3 looks, how it runs. I'm just gonna run it with everything on low and whatnot, because, well, we all know this Steam Deck's a little too weak to be playing Starfield. It even tells you that when you install the game. It's basically saying, like, hey, you're not gonna get the best performance ever. Are you absolutely sure you wanna install this? So, this is kind of stupid, but I just wanna do it anyway, because there's lots of people that like the Steam Deck, and a lot of people like Starfield. So, combine the two, someone still might want to play Starfield on here. So let's stop blabbing now that we're done explaining what we're going to do here, and let's get into the actual video.
Well, alright, here's the settings we're going to use real quick on the Steam Deck. Pretty much everything as low as it can go. That's the only way to make it even slightly playable. Still not a real good experience last time I played, but let's see how it does this time. We got FSR3. I got it at 75% render scale for now. I think it'll scale back as I lower the resolution once I get to the Ally and whatever, but we don't got to worry about that on the Steam Deck. And then I'll try frame gen next. It probably will not work, but hey, I always like trying just for fun. But anyway, let's go see how it plays. Well, alright, here we go. Start off in town, and we'll just run around for a little bit here. Then I'll try frame gen after that. I doubt it'll work. It'll probably just freeze the whole thing up. But when I can, lots of people ask me to try it, so I always try it. And so far, the only game that hasn't completely crashed, I think, was Forspoken, but then it still didn't work right. It had like super artifacts, like I would call it acid trip mode. Like all the textures are different colors than they should be, and all sorts of bad stuff. No good. But we shall still see. But yeah, as you can see, this does not look very good or play very well. Heck, I'm still surprised the thing can even launch the game and play at all. But not at even if it can, it's not playing at very playable frame rates to me anyway. Well, others might disagree and think this is completely playable. And to them, cool. At least then they can see it as playable to their standards. But it's just not to mine. I would play this on the Ally for sure. For a whole 40 minutes. But, no, that's one I'd probably have to just play plugged in if I was going to play on one of my handhelds. But this is the kind of game I would play on one of my desktops. Alright, so we'll just run out here a little bit too, just for fun. since we ran around in the city already a little bit. Oh yeah, and if frame gen doesn't work, I'll just come back and get a little bit of this for camera recorded gameplay. Because even though this makes it look really bad, it doesn't really look so awful when you're actually looking at it on the Steam Deck itself. Everything always looks bad when I blow it up like this. Ooh, that's some bad frame drops, all the way down to 10. See, that's the kind of stuff that really just makes me not okay with it. It'd be one thing if it only dropped down like 25 every now and again, every once in a blue moon. Elden Ring kind of did that to me with the settings I ran it on the Steam Deck. But all I really did with Elden Ring on the Steam Deck was level up. I didn't really try to fight any bosses or do anything like that on it. It was just so I could find a spot that I liked or I didn't get absolutely decimated, and then killed a bunch of stuff, leveled up until I was strong enough to get further, and then rinse and repeat until I finally beat the game after many, many hours. Huh, there's like a little half moon or whatever up there. Not half moon, but like sliver of moon. That would be quite the half there. Alright, what do we got here? Got some mad lag going on here. Oh, and we're switching over to nighttime. So probably a good thing I'm heading more back towards the light of this place here, because if I was going to do this on the outside, on the Steam Deck, my camera would probably be like, oh, well, nope, sorry, I'm not going to focus, and I'm going to run like garbage. But alright, we're back on in here now. So, I think this is a good spot for us to go stop and try FrameGen, and if it fails, then I'll move on to just doing this on camera. Alright, here we go. Here's the settings we're going to try for FrameGen anyway. See, pretty much exact same settings. All I did was flip that on. So now I'm going to try to go hop back into the game, and we'll see if it launches or not, or if it just gets stuck or whatever, or just insta crashes back to the desktop or what. Well, unfortunately, FrameGen is a big fat no. But like I was saying while I was playing, I kind of expected that. Doesn't generally work on the Steam Deck so far. I think I've had it not crash and sort of play a game one time, but that was about it. It still was not playing correctly. It was the graphics were all messed up. So unfortunately, yeah, it'll just sit here forever. So I ended up having to just completely shut down my Steam Deck to get it to come back. So enough of this nonsense. Let's just go get a little bit of camera gameplay of it just with FSR3. Alright, well, since FrameGen did not work whatsoever, just locked up my entire Steam Deck, I had to completely hard shut it down. So, instead, we'll just run around with FSR3 on. But just like I was expecting, it does not give you a big performance boost or anything like that. Some people have actually said it doesn't do anything for quality other than adding FrameGen in, but I don't know if that's true either. Some say it like makes stuff better quality when you're doing stuff like this and moving around. Make less noise, they say. So I'm assuming less artifacty little things. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of places where you can get 30-ish FPS, but there's lots of drops to the teens and even into the double or single digits sometimes. Not fun. So I wouldn't have a lot of fun playing on this, but some people might find this completely playable. And if it is, all the power to you. Then you know you can play the game. Just don't turn FrameGen on, or you're going to have a bad time. I mean, unless you want to do a black screen simulator with the sound coming off and on.
wants me to go to my ship, but I don't want to go to my ship right now. Yeah, I think the entrance is right up there or something like that, if I remember correctly. So I'm just going to run down here a little bit. Today, even out here, we dropped down to 19 and 15 and low 20s. For what appears to be no reason. Unfortunately, the Steam Deck just kind of falls flat on its face with games like this. But this is still not a greatly optimized game. But no amount of optimization is going to make something that's not powerful enough to play something, unless they are willing to do something like they did for Cyberpunk, where they just gave it Steam Deck-esque settings. So if they were going to do that and have it have actual lower textures and stuff that's possible on other computers, then it could probably be doable. You could probably get this thing to 30 FPS. Still think it'll have drops, though. Hey, a ship taking off. Let me up. Let me up. And also, since this thing has to work so hard, it also gets not the greatest battery life for games like this. You're looking at just a little over 2 hours for a game like this. Because no amount of OLED or, making all the other components run a little more efficiently is going to help. When you're putting everything up to 100%. GPU's pegged at 100 and the CPU is up in the 90s most of the time. So if anything, oh, here we go, we finally found an entrance. Let's go into the actual city now. I think we've been outside for more than long enough.
I used to be an actuary.
What? Still got drops down in the low 20s. Sometimes it's 30 though. I just don't like all these big frame drops. Definitely doesn't make the game an enjoyable experience for me. But that's just me. Some people aren't really bothered by stuff like that. And even with the better cooling and everything, we're still getting up into the high 70s on the CPU and low 70s on the GPU. And it's pretty, I can actually definitely hear the fan now. It's not like, oh my god, super annoying, like loud like the old school Steam Deck fan, but still, I can definitely tell it's on. But in any case, I think that's plenty of camera-recorded gameplay. Sucks that this game isn't playable really on the Steam Deck, at least up to my standards of playable anyway. But hopefully, this video will help people decide if they think it's playable or not for them. And what they think of FSR3. Doesn't really seem like it helped a lot in performance, but it might have helped in visuals a little bit. But in any case, let's go wrap the video up, shall we? Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Starfield and FSR3 and trying out FrameGen on the Steam Deck OLED. And while FrameGen may not have worked and just locked the whole system up, FSR3 at least worked. It didn't really do a whole lot for FPS, but I think it made the picture look slightly better. But of course, that could just be a placebo. I don't have any special technologies to test all these things to do scientific tests. All I can do is go, huh, looks alright to me. Or, no, that's not it, Chief. That's about all I can do here. And then let you guys use your visuals to see if the systems run good enough for you. Whichever one you may be a subscriber for or coming in for the first time to see. We got a plethora of stuff here on this channel. But in any case, it's time for me to go and try this out on the Ally. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.